Political instability and economic challenges has been affecting Africa. Nigeria's president Bola Ahmed Tinubu met with governors to brainstorm problems confronting the country. We are going to focus on agro problems as our case study. The governor was charged to contribute to the development of their states. Paying attention to agriculture was one of their priorities. Farmers pointed out that farmers lack mechanized farming, which is one of the major problems affecting food production.
Since Nigerian return to democracy, they've been talking about how to feed ourselves, how to, during Obasanjo, they talked about the Operation Feed the Nation, So we talked about feed ourselves, this and that. So we have different programs, different documents being setting an agenda, setting a vision in so 2020, in this so. This is what they want to achieve, but they have not met up with that. Meeting up with the production, local production, in different aspects. Like for example, the crop, we need to do mechanization, agricultural mechanization. Without doing agricultural mechanization, there is no way we can meet up with the local demand. To not talk of exporting. So we need that aspect of, doing agricultural mechanization. So what are things that involve the government knows is heavy equipment that cannot be afforded by individual farmer. They have 1 hectare, they have 2 hectares. So let's assume I have 10 hectares of land. How do I cultivate such land? And such land is going to bring a mass harvesting that will meet up with the target. Let's assume I just target the local area where I have my farm, or the state where I have my farm. With such large number of land, with such equipment in place, I will meet up with the demand of the people in that state, of the people in that locality. So if I can meet up with that within that locality or that state, it will reduce. Other people in the other state can also do the same thing. And that from there, we are reducing the issue of food scarcity. So the number one priority, the number one issue is the agricultural mechanization. I cannot afford to take a caterpillar to a farm to clear a bush for a very big farmland for me. I cannot afford to bring a machine that will plow. So that is the aspect that the government need to come in. That is what they need to do. If they cannot do it, they don't have the financial capacity. I don't even want to believe that they don't. They have money in this country. They have been saying they want to bring investors. If they can partner with the company that have this equipment, signing an agreement with them, things can work. They did not have the money to buy such for the people of the country. They can sign an agreement with the company that manufactures all this. And in that way, their product is going to move. While the food demand of the nation will also meet. So the government know that aspect. It's not just to say, people are shouting, there is no support, there is no empowerment. You just go and say, oh, you farmer, come and take 20 bags of fertilizer, come and take 10 bags of rice seedlings, come and take 50 kg of maize seedlings. That is not what the farmer needs. The right support.
The cost of feeding and agricultural inputs has been one of the problems in Nigeria removal of fuel subsidies has affected the price of goods and services tremendously.
The government know that the petroleum is one of the engine that support the small businesses, the poor people in this country, that they use moving from one place to another. Now they have a vision, a plan to remove the subsidy, to reduce the corruption. There's supposed to be like a plan and work program for it, for people not to suffer. Now, we should have even checked, have enough food in our reserve before that can be done. Now, when they roll out the palliative out to all the governor, I will ask the federal government, the government of the President Tinubu, and all the ministers in charge of the palliative, how many people in the state benefit from the palliative? I, as a person, I reside in Lagos. I'm here in Agege. I never got one. So, how many people benefit from it? How many households benefit from the palliative of the government? Who are the vulnerable people? I thank God for myself and my family. We are getting a little of what we need to eat. But what about others? By next Saturday, we are raising food items for people that we know that these people need. They are in the need of it. We know them. So it's act of kindness is to do. Because I can afford to feed myself, feed my family. What about others? I cannot even feed it. Somebody that has not even seen in the morning, is that the person that will be thinking of the afternoon? Somebody that has not even seen the afternoon, is that the person that will be thinking the evening? Even the one they see in the afternoon, maybe that's what they will take. That will take them for the whole day. So we need to see how we can do the right thing. The challenges still boil down on the mechanization, because the poultry industry need the product of the crop farmer to use meal and to give to the to their animal. Likewise, the fish industry also need the product coming from the farm, from the crop farmer, milling it together, make it a fish feed. And see, out of all the cost that the livestock farmer incur, 80% of it go with feeding. So when you take feed out of it, the remaining is minimal. So in that case, the price of the maize, the price of the soya, the price of the GNC has been used. Why? Even the cassava that has been used for the fish farmer as a substitute for carbohydrate aspect, that the source of energy is even getting scarce. So those are the challenges. The maize is scarce. Now there are information coming, because the last time I ordered maize and soya from the north, I was meant to know that the farmer there harvest their product and take it to the other country. So now, if the northerner farmer that have gotten government support, that supposed to sell the product within Nigeria, felt that, because of the value of the currency over there and push all the products down to other countries. So I can't stop him. And the border, if the border is not well secure, nobody can stop. And we are even trying to pray that, oh, we want to export our product, but not to this movement. So now, what they do now is to push their product outside the neighbor country that is close to part of the north. That is what they do. So it's one of the challenges. So what other part of Nigeria need to do now is to sit up by, I don't think they need to wait for the governor or they need to wait for the president. If they seek support of their governor, their state, and refuse, they should see what they can do. All the available space within the state that has been wasted, they should see how they can tap into it. Plant maize, plant whatever is available that the soil can take, so that they can have in abundance to feed their animal. The issue of scarcity or the issue of price, it will reduce. So if we can do a little, we can do here, it's going to support our local demand. So the people need to do more, because we've been asking the governor, the local government, the presidency to do something about this, and nothing has been done. So the challenge is majorly on the aspect of the livestock or aquaculture, is feed. Now the price of the feed is not, the feed I bought yesterday, a bag of 25 kg of broiler starter, New Hope, was 18,500 here in Agege. And I'm aware that in other places, people that come from around Igondo and that is higher than that. So if I'm buying that, you can see before it wasn't like that. Like 2 years ago, it wasn't 18,000. It was around 7,000. And you can see how the price was, jumping up to the 18,000. By next week, we don't know whether the price will jump more than that. A bag of a feed being produced here in Nigeria, 2 mm is now 23,000 naira. So this is one of the things that discourage. I checked the budget I prepared year 2020 and check the budget I'm preparing for 1,000 fish, to raise 1,000 fish. Now, in that budget, 147,000. That was around 375 kg of feed. We'll feed with minus 2 mm that they are going to take. We'll feed 1,000 fish. But as I speak to you today, just between the 4 mm of fish feed cost around 240,000. The fuel that I budgeted to raise 1,000 fish as of 2020 was around 10,000 naira. As of today, the fuel that is going to be used to raise 1,000 fish is around 53,000 naira. And I don't know tomorrow whether by tomorrow the price will increase. So this is one of the challenges that we face.
Unable to meet local demand in the country has been one of the major problems confronting the country. Farm mechanization plays a role in the development of food production. Government policy, building infrastructure, irrigation, and market for agricultural products encourage farmers to boost production. Insecurity has been another problem affecting production.
To make sure that our forest is secure for any activities that farmer or researcher want to, carry it on. So there are some things that they are in the forest that we can use for this part of agricultural, product. But because of the fear of killer, nobody, nobody can go in there to take any resources available there or to even do any research. So if this can be done, I think it's going to help a lot. Well, as a father, you have a home, you know how many members of your family, you know the character of each member of your family, and you know their food consumption rate. From there, you will know how you are going to sit up by planning, by organizing yourself to meet up with their demand, despite the fact that you know the character demand of each member of your family. That is what I expect before the subsidy removal or even before the announcement of the subsidy. See, we are not producing enough to meet up with the demand of the people in Nigeria. And it is good for the government to say they want to encourage the local product. When the local product is not much available, I think we should try to substitute. If we are producing what we are producing and you allow a little, you can minimize it, that can just to support what we are producing. In the effect of what we are producing is not enough, wasn't enough, and the one that's supposed to support what we are producing wasn't there. So you can see it will cause a lot of crisis. And that is what is happening now. That is making people to cry. Because you can imagine how much they are selling a bag of rice now. How much it was a bag of rice in the past. It's not everybody that can afford to buy a bag of rice. Some people complain that a derica of rice this is what they are selling it. Even I have a student in Niger State, a final year student, lamenting to me, in Niger State, where a state that can feed the whole Africa with the land, with rice, the rice is high expensive there. He told me he cannot afford to buy the rice at the moment. So a state where they produce enough rice, and the students, the people staying there, complaining of the price of the rice there, whether the one that have stone or the one that doesn't have stone. So you can imagine that. So what I would advise to the government is they can allow little to come in to support the demand of the people. We are not producing enough. If we are not mechanizing, it's only agricultural mechanization that can meet up with the demand of the people. So we are not mechanizing. So if we are not mechanizing, how will you meet up with the demand of the people of the country? So we are just going to make people to go hunger. And when people go hunger, people will be hungry. An angry man, somebody that is hungry will be angry. And when you push them, they will turn back. So that is what I expect the government to do. Not even now. Look at, it was trending on the news that the Nigerian Customs Service are selling rice. Is the Nigerian Customs Service a maker of rice? Are they farmers? Are they producing rice? But I think I understand they are the one in charge of border. Maybe when the border was closed, the unauthorized truck, unauthorized products, they are not allowed to come into country. They find their way in, and there's been, empowered, and that is what they are trying to resell back to the people of the society. To me, well, is for now, because of the hardship, it's good, it will relieve, but for how long are they going to sell? When they finish the one they seize. See, food consumption is daily activities, is seconds activities, because we eat every hours, every seconds. We have family that feed their family 3 times daily. We have some 2 times, we have some 1 time. So it depends on their financial capacity. So if a family was given a 25 kg of rice for this month of February, by March or April, I'm sure, no matter how they manage it, they will finish it. So does the Nigerian Customs Service still have another rice in silo? Have they produced a rice in store to resell again? Or they still have some rice they've seized that they still want to rebag and resell? So what we need to do is to, it's a farmer that needs to be empowered. It's a farmer that needs to be gingered. It's a farmer that needs to be given the right support too. So the Nigerian Customs Service cannot continue selling rice. They cannot continue selling rice. So it's a farmer that needs to be supported. And the Nigerian Customs Service need to talk to themselves. Who are the people compromising, allowing the truck, the rice they are seizing, allowing them to get into the country? Who are the people among them, compromise what, when the president give order, you still find some. So when the border are not being secure, are not being tight, are not being well looked into, the smugglers smuggle the product into the country. And it was when they find their way into Nigeria, you now see the officers in charge that are supposed to protect the border, not supposed to allow the smuggling, rushing within the community, within the society, exchanging gun with the smuggler, taking people's life unexpected. But if the right thing has been done at the border, nothing of such will have happened. But the people in charge does not do what they are supposed to do. That is why we have all these products being smuggled in. Instead of the products being smuggled in, the government should allow the product to come in. They should give a date. If the border is going to be open 3 times in a week, for whatever product that the country allowed to come in should come in, it's fine. Then some officer will be taking advantage of the smuggler, or to even be causing chaos within the community where they find the smuggler, killing people unnecessarily because they want to collect the product that the smuggler has smuggled into the country. So they need to know how they are going to program it. I'm a producer. I only want any product to come out and compete with my product, because I know my product is better than what is coming in. But when the right support that's supposed to be given to people producing, not giving, so what are we going to do? We are not producing enough. So are we going to eat ourselves? So we need the food to live. We need the food to survive. So what do we do? So the border, they should see how they can regulate it. If it is this product that will be allowed to come into this country. And let me also pass this message to the Mr. President. Mr. President should note, and the chairman House Committee on Interior should know, on border, if the president give directive that some border, the border should be closed in Nigeria, some part of Nigerian border will be closed, while some other part of Nigerian border will be open. So what is that? Is that not a compromise? We have one Nigerian Customs Service in charge of border. We have one immigration service in charge of border. So why is it allowing one, or is it that the directive is not cover all the federation, it cover one particular controller general or the commander in charge of one state or the other? So I think they need to see this as important. If the directive has been given, all the people concerned should sit up and work with it. Not one part of Nigeria will cooperate with the directive, the other part of Nigeria will not cooperate with that. That should not be.
Nigeria's government should encourage mechanization in farming practices. Government can provide subsidies and grant loans to farmers to facilitate the adoption of mechanization and promotion of efficient farming practices. Government should work on agricultural reforms, technological advancement, and policies. Farmers should have access to credit and finance for production. The government should ensure that security of farms, because insecurity has caused underproduction and discouragement in investing in agribusiness.